Do Kaizen and Strava know my fitness better than I do?
Good evening and happy Friday. So another week where I haven't done loads of recording, but I have done quite a lot of running this week. So I had a rest day on Monday after the big 21-mile run on Sunday, although the legs felt okay, but I thought I'd give them a little day off. Tuesday was a double day, so I did a lunchtime run with one of the Harriers, Nathan, and then I did intervals in the evening. The lunchtime run was meant to be easy, but we got a little bit giddy, got a bit carried away, and ended up running sort of not far off marathon pace for some of it. So yeah, and then went and did a great interval session in the evening. So I did 2 by a K, 2 by 800 meters, and then 3 by 600 meters with broadly like 2-minute recoveries in between. And I was running around about 3-minute 30 per K pace fairly consistently. So pretty encouraging, felt good. Wednesday, I did the Harriers Club Night run. So that was about 7.5 miles. So around about sort of 11K. Last night I did a slightly quicker, so around about 8-minute miles. But I did that sort of tempo pace. So warm up 8K at tempo, sort of steady pace, and then a warm down. And that was again like 10K. And then today at lunchtime in London, I did another 10K with Nathan again. So again, my Harrier friend, he works in London. So we've managed to coordinate twice this week. But I am going to do a bit of a time trial tomorrow. So I'm going to go down to Bromley parkrun, which is, I think it's meant to be it's certainly in the top 10, I believe, fastest parkruns in the country. And I'm going to do a little bit of a competition versus what my apps tell me I can do. So Strava, I believe, thinks I can do 5K in about 18:29 right now. And Kaizen, I think, is at 18:34. I'll put the exact ones on screen now. I might have got them the wrong way around. I'm ignoring Chorus because my Chorus data is old and I need to do a new kind of race predictor for that one because I think Chorus says I can do it in about 17:40, but that's not updated in a long time. So I think broadly, I think I'm going to be aiming for around about 18:30, or that's certainly what the apps say I can do based on my current training and my current fitness. As I said, it's a quick parkrun. I ran 18:59 at Hastings Parkrun about a month ago. So it'd be interesting to see whether I've managed to knock circa 30 seconds off that pace. So 18:30 is around about 3:40 per K, I believe. So yeah, I'll be trying to go out sort of reasonably quickly and just cling on. But yeah, let's see what happens. And then Sunday, long run again, and that should take me to around about 57 miles for the week. It's going to be a bit of a down week next week. So I've done 3 sort of big mileage, 3 plus to 50 mile weeks. So I'm going to have a little bit of a down week next week before Tunbridge Wells half marathon on Sunday. But let us see what Bromley Parkrun holds.
Good morning from Bromley Parkrun. So I'm down here today to attack my 5K predicted times from both Strava and from Kaizen. So they're the 2 apps that I'm kind of using for my training at the moment. I use Kaizen because I got a 1-month free trial, but I'm still not 100% sure exactly how it works. Basically, I put in a predicted or a target time for Paris Marathon, and it gives me a monthly donut on kind of what mileage, or a weekly donut on what kind of mileage to do and what intensity to get there. But I'm not sure I fully understand it. So if anybody can enlighten me, that would be great. I've got a 1-month free trial, which is coming to an end. So I sort of need to decide whether I want to pay for it or not. But anyway, Kaizen is predicting that I will do 5K this morning or parkrun in 18:29. And Strava is saying I'll do it in 18:35. That will mean running around about 3 minutes 40 per K to try and beat that. That should bring me in around about 18:20. I don't know what fitness I'm in. I think I'm in all right shape. It's definitely been coming back over the last few weeks. But am I in 18-20 shape? We will have to wait and see. I believe it's a fast parkrun. Like I said yesterday, I think it's meant to be the 5th fastest, or their winter course here at Bromley is the 5th fastest parkrun. Although I believe there is also a little bit of an undulation, so we will have to wait and see. But yeah, it's beautiful conditions. It's going to be a bit chilly this morning. I'm going to be wearing my Asics Metaspeed Sky Paris, so they are not my sort of my number one race shoe. I've got the Asics Metaspeed Ray, which I do say for very special occasions. And whilst I do want to give it a good go, I don't want to waste the Rays, so I'm wearing the Sky Paris. I'll be wearing my shocks. I've had a Beat It shot this morning as well, and I'll be filming the entire thing on my head cam as well. So you will see whether I manage to achieve my goal of running sub 18:29, because really that's the most quick prediction that I've got. Yeah, so let's go and see how we get on. So I'm just doing the warm-up. It is cold this morning, really cold. Away we go at Bromley Parkrun on Valentine's Day. So as you can see, my statistics do take a little while to kick in. So there's about a 10-second delay from my Instago Ultra to the actual display on screen. If anybody can help me out with that, that would be greatly appreciated, because I can't seem to sync the times perfectly. But anyway, as I said, we're off. We're going a little bit quickly. We get dragged along at the beginning, so we get down right into like 306, 307 per K before we start to finally settle into a rhythm and in with this group up ahead.
Marshall.
After a fairly congested start, I have now managed to get into a bit more of a rhythm, and I ran that first kilometre in 3:35. Bearing in mind I only need to average around 3:40, I am still going a little bit quickly, but things feel comfortable. I'm just trying to latch myself onto these two guys up ahead, and we'll see where we go. So we go through that second K in 3:42, which is a touch behind the target pace, but I'm still not concerned as I've got a bit of a buffer from that first kilometre. I have to say I've spent the last sort of kilometre or so just admiring this chap in front and how comfortable he looks. He barely seems to be trying, and he's going around and clipping around at sort of 3:40 per K, whereas whilst it's not a struggle for me, I'm definitely not making it look that easy. So into that third kilometre, and we go back to a 3:38, so we are back on pace. Last sort of half a kilometre or so has been a bit trickier because it's got a bit congested. Obviously this is a 2.5 lap park run, so you are going to meet the tail runners on the way round, but yeah, mostly they're keeping left and it's quite easy to pass. We've also caught up with a few of the quicker runners as well, so we are starting to overtake some of those that went off a little bit quickly. But as you can see, I'm just sticking with this chap in front. We're both running in and around sort of 3:35 to 3:45 per K, still feeling nice and comfortable. And on the right we have a buggy overtaking us. How demoralising. But anyway, yeah, fair play to this chap. If he can run, I think he ends up running a sub 18 with a buggy, so you know, you can't argue with that, can you? So it's got pretty congested now as we're firmly onto the second lap, but we go through the 4th K in 3:41, so pretty much bang on pace. The guy that I've been running with is actually overtaken. He's had a bit of a burst and he's gone ahead, but this other guy in front of me seems to be running a decent pace, and we're now down around about 3:38 with 1k to go. What have I got left in this final kilometre? So as we approach the finish line, I did briefly get out-kicked by these two guys, but I go through that final K in 3:30 and an official time of 18:06. Well done to Alexander and to Isaac for their PBs and for dragging me along for those last couple of Ks, but that is only 7 seconds off my parkrun PB and significantly better than both Strava and Kaizen predicted for me, which is a huge encouragement. And actually, it is, compared to the Hastings 17:59, almost 12 months to the day last year. I am really, really pleased with that, and that puts me in good stead moving forwards for Paris.
I can do scanning. There we go. Got that one.
Thank you.
Got that one.
Thank you.
There you go. Check.
Thanks, mate. Take care. Cheers. Bye. Well done, Jess. Well done. Well done, Ali.
Parkrun at Bromley done. And yeah, felt good. Heart rate didn't get silly as I was going round, managed to sort of finish strongly. So yeah, really encouraging. And then I had a really nice sit down afterwards. As you can see, it's the first day it's not been like miserable, grey, raining. It's cold though this morning, but beautiful blue skies and sunny. So we sat outside and had a coffee. So Sarah and Jess from Tunbridge AC, and then there was Ali and Rose from the Harriers, and Martin, who's been injured, but he was down as well. So it's really nice to have a little coffee with those guys and catch up afterwards. And yeah, so big run tomorrow. Haven't finalised the plans yet, but I think we might be going back to London again, as we did a couple of weeks ago, to do a long run there. And that will again top me up to something in and around 55, 56 miles for the week. Fingers crossed. So there we go. Right, Bromley Park Run done. 18:0, let's say 8. I'll wait for the official time.
Day 7,322 of rain in the UK in 2026. So that is a half marathon in, so 21.3k, and I'm questioning my life choices this morning. This is absolutely grim. So we are 25k in. We've just come under the footbridge at Greenwich, so under the River Thames. Can and I are a little bit further ahead, so we're waiting for a few of us here, just in the dry, to be honest, because they said it is really wet and really grim out there today. I'm sure we'll be pleased when we get it done, but it's not pleasant.
So I am now back from the Sunday run in London, where it was miserable. We did 20 miles, which is another great, another banked 20 miler after last weekend, which is really pleasing. Pace averaged about 8:15 per mile, I think, but actually I think it was a bit misleading because there was a couple of times when I lost GPS. So going under the bridge from Isle of Dogs, I think, to Greenwich, lost all signal. So that messed up the timings a bit. And actually the second sort of 10 miles I was doing
in and around sort of 7:55 to 8-minute miles. And I finished with my strongest mile which was about 7:40. So yeah, as I said, I knew it was going to be wet. I knew it was going to be miserable. I don't think I'd quite mentally prepared for how wet and miserable it was going to be, but I got it done. Another big week. So I did 57.5 miles. So another jump, sort of 2.5 mile jump from last week. So I've got to be pleased with that. My whole run was pretty much in zone 2. So I think 97% of the run was in zone 2 and it felt really comfortable. Legs started feeling a little bit tired at the end, but nothing, untoward. I'd been on them for 2 hours and 45 minutes. So inevitably they're going to start to tire slightly. So yeah, that was good. My official time yesterday for parkrun was 18:06. So 7 seconds off my overall parkrun PB, which was really, really pleasing, really encouraging. Still got 8 weeks to go to Paris. This week coming up is going to be a down week. It's going to be an enforced down week as I'm actually having an operation tomorrow, which is Monday. Now, this has been on the cards for a little while. If you've watched the videos from the beginning, I actually had the pre-op assessment for this in July last year, but for one reason or another, it's been delayed and I haven't had a date for it. But I have got the operation tomorrow. Fingers crossed, I shouldn't be out of running for too long. I'm hoping it'll only be a couple of days, but I guess you just don't know with these things. So next week's vlog may or may not be going up depending on how much running I do. But I would imagine that I'm going to get this vlog up on either Wednesday or Thursday. So I'll have already had the surgery by that point. So yeah, so another big week. So 3 50-mile weeks in a row. So actually having a down week next week's not a bad thing. It'd be nice to be able to do some running. There's the Tunbridge Wells half next Sunday, which I would like to do. But we will see. So wish me luck. And I may or may not see you next week. If not, it'll be the week after. All right. Take care. Bye.